Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome to the Primal commentary, designed for, as we relive that good old logo. Wait for it. Will the game begin? Oh, the PlayStation 2. Back during the days when Sony didn't suck. And yeah, this effort comes to us from Sony Computer Entertainment Cambridge. A sadly forgotten studio, eventually folded into Guerrilla Games, I believe, the studio that brought us Killzone, so, yeah, that kinda sucks. Not really too sure what they're working on now, apart from, like, maybe Horizon games, but yeah, back in the days when Sony Computer Entertainment, you know, none of that interactive stuff. Yes, interactive computer entertainment, darling. Not computers, those are for nerds. Interactive, darling. Yeah, the Cambridge studio, you know, the studio that gave us such wonderful titles such as Ghost Hunter, Medieval, few other titles here and there that I can't quite recall at the moment. This gave us Primal. Basically, the Cambridge team's first foray into the PlayStation 2, and this was a very ambitious title for the time. It really wanted to showcase what the technology could do graphically in terms of storytelling. And, yeah, it's a pretty ambitious effort, albeit one that sadly didn't live up to, well, expectations and a lot of people's tastes. And as a result, Primal pretty much remains a bit of a, well, I mean, I would say a cult hit, but I don't really hear people talking about this game too much. I mean, again, I sort of put it in the bouncer territory where, again, it doesn't really get talked about a lot, but people have played the game, so there is a fondness for it, somewhat. But yeah, all that aside though, Primal. What is it? Well, as you can no doubt tell, we play as young Jennifer Tate, you know, a perky young gothic lass, taken from our mortal realm into this portal fantasy where she goes through all different realms with her travelling companion, the gargoyle Scree, and gets into all sorts of shenanigans as her spirit tries to make its way back to the living realm, as she also tries to find her boyfriend Lewis. What shall happen? I guess we will have to wait and see. So yeah, Primal. It also has a soundtrack by the industrial metal band 16 Volts, who were actively involved in the game's soundtracking process, and yeah, all in all, pretty good stuff. And to kind of lay my cards flat on the table here, I do quite like Primal. It's a very entertaining game, and although I can admit to a lot of its flaws, I still find myself enjoying this game quite a bit, really. And I guess for a bit of added trivia, as we sort of stock with the preamble as I fiddle around with the options a wee bit, yeah, fun Skully trivia, this was actually intended to be part of Season 8 of Skully Reviews before, well, basically, Sonic Frontiers, you know, being the big final goodbye that it was, basically meant that I ended up running out of time. But to kind of give you an idea, though, like, Primal did come very close to its finishing stages, to the point where it was in editing, and, well, as I'm looking at my editor right now, still actually is in its own little segment. It's just that, yeah, I ran out of time. But then again, since I have all the footage, and I do technically have all the voiceovers recorded, it would just be a small matter of just sort of cutting everything together and, I guess maybe making it a potential lost episode, but, I don't know. I might save it for maybe an anniversary year. Who knows, really, but, I don't know. It's simultaneously close enough to completion, but by that same token also, like, you know, it requires me to put a wee bit of effort in, but then again, who knows. To get back to the game good and proper, and apart from cribbing notes from the film Prophecy and Metal Gear Solid 2, yes, this is Mortalis, basically the Primal's name for our real-world Earth, as where our story begins. New York City, as I believe it's meant to be. Yeah. Either way, our story begins in New York. Not that we're going to be spending much time here anyway, because, yeah, we're going to be spending more time in the fantasy realms as opposed to Earth, although that was something apparently considered for the sequel, Primal 2. But, yeah, neither here nor there in this case. But alas, as we enter the club, the Nexus, oh dear, seeing all sorts of junkies and all manner of rabble that you'd see on a Friday night. Well, I'd assume so. I don't really think the metal club scene is really as big as it was, even back during these days, but, yeah, certainly was a time to be alive back when you used to go out to your local pubs and, you know, enjoy a bit of a show. But yeah, as I mentioned before, 16 Volt, along with contributing to the soundtrack and the combat music for the game, also have a small cameo as Lewis's backing band. Speaking of which, Lewis. Jennifer's boyfriend and the lead singer of the fictional version of 16 Volt. But yeah, either way, it certainly sets the tone and is very reflective of the, the whole sort of nu metal, rock, dark, gothic sort of atmosphere that was permeated throughout a lot of 2000s media. Very Queen of the Damned-esque, mind you. Yep, that's right, you're really playing that guitar even though you're using your, your hand to sing on the microphone whilst dropping the guitar. I can only assume he's rhythm guitar, but, Aquist. In any case, though, Lewis notices that there's a mysterious figure in the crowd that's a little bit out of place even for a gaggle of metalheads. So yeah, as this gigantic fellow makes his way through the crowd, he gets a wee bit panicky and as soon as the set's finished, pretty much decides to fucking brick it all the way back to his dressing room, and it's here where I'll finally shut up and let the game's plot start talking. But then again, there is a pretty heavy info dump at the beginning of Primal, which is a bit of a criticism of mine, but well, I mean, I guess you'll see why after the cutscene.
Say, mister, are you one of them badass rock stars?
Oh, Jen, you scared the crap out of me.
Sorry, babe. Hey, Lewis, what's up?
This huge freak in the crowd kept staring at me. Like some whacked-out psycho.
Well, maybe you never checked out your audience before, but you guys don't exactly share the same fan base as Kenny G.
This was different. He looked seriously creepy.
Ooh, that reminds me. Grab your money and let's split. We gotta go visit the landlord.
Great set, man.
Come on. If we don't pay him tonight, we're gonna be living in a box.
Ah, Jen. You never used to complain. I think we're growing apart.
I'm 21 now, Lewis. Too old to be living like a bum. Plus, I'm gonna need study space once I start college. No autographs, creep.
Good night, guys. See you next time.
See you, buddy. What is that thing?
Don't make me hurt you.
Is this your Jane Doe?
Yeah, came in 2 nights ago. Hasn't come round yet. She's a fighter, though. I've lost plenty with injuries less than hers.
5 broken ribs, lung punctured in 2 places, ruptured spleen. What'd you do, get hit by a truck?
Yeah, she left some nightclub with her boyfriend. Looks like a gang jumped them. Left her lying outside the club. They found him several blocks away. He's in the room 3 doors down.
So, what do you think?
50-50.
Come on, Doctor. There's a coffee and donut downstairs. Need your attention.
That was one freaky dream. This a hospital? What the hell happened? Oh my god. I'm dead? No, I don't want to be dead. Things were just starting to work out. Louis and I were just... Oh my god. Louis... What happened to us? Huh? What the hell are you? A bit short for the Grim Reaper, aren't ya?
You're not dead, Jennifer, but if you don't be quiet and listen to me, you soon will be. My name is, well, let's say you can call me Scree. I've been sent to find you, to show you some very important things and to enlist your assistance.
Right. Well, Scree, glad I'm not dead. But first you better explain how come I'm looking down on myself. She is creeping me out.
Your corporeal form, the one still lying there, is very weak, close to death perhaps, but not yet lost. That is only part of you. The other part, your spirit, that's you. I set it free from your body so that we could talk. In fact, now that it's free, you'll find you can travel to places you've never even imagined.
Right, so I'm like an astral projection or something.
Essentially, yes.
So what does that make you?
I am but a humble servant to my lady, and to you I'm a friend, someone you need to trust. Now quickly, you must come with me. We're both vulnerable here.
Okay, but only 'cause I'm intrigued. I've never been an astral projection before.
Okay, Jennifer.
What the hell? My God. What just happened? Where are we?
Questions. We're no longer in Mortalis. We've stepped through a rift gate into the Nexus.
Still, huh?
As I said earlier, your spirit is no longer constrained by flesh. You have left the physical mortal world and now stand in the Nexus, a convergence point for energies drawn from the four realms of Oblivion.
Sounds like one of Lewis's fantasy novels.
This is real, Jennifer. I know you mortals think you're at the heart of everything, but believe me, you're not. Now please try to absorb all of this quickly. There really is no time to waste.
Okay, I'm trying. Just one thing, though. No matter where we are, you gotta stop calling me Jennifer. You sound like my stepdad. It's Jen.
I am to give you these. They are devices that will help you to learn of your true self. And if my lady is correct, they may afford us some protection.
What am I supposed to do with this?
It's a vambrace. They fasten around your wrists. Please, it's important that you trust me and just put them on.
I've just jumped out of my skin, left my body in some hospital, been dragged through a rift gate,
Rift Gate.
and I'm in Oblivion. Vambrace? Not a problem.
Precisely.
Ooh, shiny. And pretty comfy for a pair of metal doodads. Could have been made for me.
They were.
So, how do I get them off?
You don't.
And this guy wants me to trust him. This lady you keep mentioning, who is she?
I serve Arella. She is all that is good and pure. She is strength and virtue. She is righteousness. She is nobility.
She's a person, right?
She is not a person. She is not mere flesh and bone, emotion and desire. She is one of two primal forces that govern the universe. She is order.
And the other would be...
The other would be Abaddon, the embodiment of chaos, lord of corruption and decay. He is my lady's eternal foe and the reason for my being.
Right. You know you're gonna have to introduce me to this Urella.
Oh, I shall, and she will be most relieved to see you. But first, I must show you more of Oblivion. Please follow me.
Scree, will all this start making sense anytime soon? Is there nothing you can say that won't leave my head spinning?
I think that perhaps your Lewis may have been brought here.
Lewis? Lewis here? You've got to help me find him.
Whew, Jesus fucking Louises, that was a lot of info dumping, and yeah, I mean, assuming that you can pay attention, I'm assuming that you know at least, well, relatively the basics. Jen's astral form, you know, her van braces allowing her to do combat, and in turn, well, as we're going to be learning throughout the rest of this part, pretty much a basic info dump as to what the Nexus actually is and how it corresponds to the two realms, as well as order and chaos. You know, Rella representing order, you know, structure and all that, and Abaddon representing chaos. You know, destabilization, anger, negative values, entropy, all that good stuff. Again, one of my critiques that I was mentioning before that big info dump was that, yeah, Primal kind of front-loads all of its exposition right at the beginning of the game, which, admittedly though, I do think is a bit of an issue, but a bit of a necessary one to get people up to speed. Again, like, I mean, it's not too big of a problem, like, if you're just going through it on a first playthrough because you are learning the information, and maybe it's just more of a, you know, returning playthrough kind of bugbear, but, I mean, you can skip cutscenes, though, so you can get to the action pretty quick smart, but, yeah, in terms of pacing, it does sort of, like, stop the, you know, pacing just a little bit up front after your exciting opening. Only after a certain point when we get to the first realm, which will be, you know, right at the end of the video, it more or less gets back up to speed, and then it's like, okay, then you can go. So, I mean, in terms of story pacing, it's a bit of a roadblock before it finally lets you pass and can enjoy playing your video game. But again, that's only really a hurdle I feel the game has at the beginning here, so, yeah, not too big of an issue, and I suppose, I guess, to sort of relate to the players', you know, irritation to get things moving right quick and fast, yeah, Scree is there to share the player's irritation with Jen constantly asking questions about this understandably mysterious realm, but, you know, he kind of wants to get on saving the realms.
So, they got one of these.
With the might of chaos and order eternally battling, a balance between them must also be fought for. Here at the heart of the Nexus is where that happens, drawing in the two primal forces, governing, generating a safe parallel energy. That is the awesome responsibility of Kronos.
And awesome's the word for this gadget. Oh! There's someone in the middle of all that!
As I said, Jen, Kronos.
Jeez, he's looking at me.
Perhaps he can hear you, too.
Well... I'm sure the guy's doing a great job in there. On there. Oh my god, Scree, he's plugged into the damn thing.
It is an ancient machine, with Kronos living at its heart. There are 4 realms in Oblivion, Jen. 2 aligned with order and 2 with chaos. Each realm has its own natural balance, eternally generating the right levels of primal energy, which is drawn into the Nexus and fed through Kronos to Urella and Abaddon. Kronos has eternally governed with wisdom and impartiality, channeling balanced strength to them both. Without him, the Nexus, Oblivion, and your Mortalis wouldn't exist at all. Simple as that.
You know, if I was as wise as this Kronos, I'd find a cushier job. Pull out the jacks and swing in the hammock for a while.
For all our sakes, I trust your own sense of responsibility matches your distinctive sense of humor.
Distinctive good or distinctive?
Distinctive inappropriate.
Jeez, I'm being heckled by a troll. Is he okay? That doesn't look too healthy.
No. The force of chaos is overpowering him. Abaddon is putting his ancient plan into practice. A break with eternity. He's secretly corrupting the kingdoms of order, strengthening the realms of chaos, foolishly rocking the Nexus like a boat about to capsize. Just look at our guardian suffering to keep control. He may not last very long. Come on, Jen, we have no time to lose.
Okay, I'm coming. Just don't leave me behind here.
As well as the player who has to deal with all this information. But yeah, that's Kronos. As was stated before, he's pretty much the one maintaining the balance between the two realms of order and chaos, and I mean, again, I suppose Kronos in and of himself does also have some sort of mediating power to really sort of keep, well, I wouldn't say keep both powers at bay, because after all, as, you know, part of the reason why we're even here to begin with is because Abaddon's growing in power, so, yeah, gonna need to have Jen and Scree restore the balance in favor of order a little bit, just to, you know, readdress things. But yeah, basically, in order to ensure stability across all worlds, yeah, Kronos pretty much needs to remain alive, although it does make one wonder why Abaddon hasn't launched more attacks against, Kronos, but, then again, I suppose this is probably the first time this sort of destabilization has really happened, or at least one that needed outside influence from Mortalis, but, oh dear, it appears Jen has more curiosity about her, so let's answer more of her questions once we begin.
It's no good. I'm gonna have to ask Scree.
Questions again. And if there's something I'd want you to ask, you never do. What, please?
These symbols.
Ah,
I presume you have noticed this.
indeed, there is a remarkable similarity.
They are identical, you lunk. Louis drew the design for me just after we met. How come the symbols all over the place here?
I simply can't tell you.
Can't or won't?
It's branded on you, Jen, not me. I don't know everything.
It's not branded, it's just a tattoo, goddammit. Louis told me it was a ancient rune of protection. I just thought it looked cool.
Where did Louis see this symbol? It's very important.
He wouldn't tell me. Oh, forget it. Everything else going on, that ain't gonna freak me out. Come on, little guy.
Questions, but not a drop to drink. In any case, though, more related to Jen's, history and regards to the Nexus, and indeed, our first realm of Primal coming up next time with Solum. So on that note, I am Solidus-Skully, keep it new metal, I apologize for the info dump, and I'll catch you dudes and dudettes next time for more action.
Yeah.